Hey, welcome back. In Deuteronomy 4 verse 8, Moses asks the nation of Israel, what other nation has these great laws and judicial decisions that are contained within the law that he had just given them? Now, you'll often find witnesses expressing thoughts like this, like the Mosaic Law was really special, that it was unique, that it was advanced, that it hadn't been influenced by other cultures and traditions. The law code as recorded in the Pentateuch is described by witnesses as an elevated judiciary system beyond comparison with any other law code of the time. Witnesses insist that in no way does Hammurabi's code prove to be an ancestor of the Mosaic Law. The regulations of the Mosaic Law were not influenced by the wrong concepts found in other ancient documents. Now, is this really the case? Should we just take the Watchtowers' word for it? It's only fair that we do a little bit of digging, right? A little bit of investigation to see if those claims hold water, if they stack up.
Give me the bitch.
Now, like Moses, Hammurabi claimed that he received his law code from the gods themselves. He says that its purpose was to cause justice to prevail in the land, to prevent the strong from oppressing the weak, to enlighten the land, and to further the welfare of the people. Both of these law codes follow the if-then format. If crime X takes place, punish it with Y. Both of them liberally apply the death penalty. Both are concerned with what's called lex talionis, which means that the punishment must correspond with the crime. For example, in Leviticus 24 we read, "If a man injures his fellow man, then what he has done should be done to him. Fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. The same sort of injury he inflicted should be inflicted on him." Laws 196 and 197 of Hammurabi states, "If a man put out the eye of another man, his eye shall be put out. If he break another man's bone, his bone shall be broken." Both laws prescribe against bearing false witness. Both cover unintentional crimes. Both cover crimes related to blood guilt. Both symbolize the change in relationship between a master and slave by piercing the ear. "I do take the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you today," said Jehovah, when he encouraged the Israelites to obey the law and observe it closely. This was common practice among treaties between nations of the time. In the peace treaty concluded between Ramses II and Hattusilus III, they call upon the divine patron of the sky and the earth to witness the agreement. This is followed by a listing of curses and blessings to follow, depending on whether the treaty is adhered to or not. Deuteronomy 28 follows this template exactly. The division of murder into premeditated and unintentional was an invention of Athenian law and was found in only one other place in the ancient Near East, Israel. Levirate marriage, where a man was obliged to marry the widow of a landed relative, is identical to that in Athens. Both law codes use precisely the same expression for explaining the law's purpose, that his name should not perish from the earth.
That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting.
There is close conformity between treason laws in Athens and the Mosaic Law. Plato's laws contain the only known example outside the Pentateuch of stoning as a sanctioned, legislated mode of execution. The laws on sex crimes are almost identical, as is the legal status of foreigners. And it's not just the law codes that you will find startling similarities in. Various other cultural practices and traditions are copied and mimicked within the Hebrew Bible. Dividing a new homeland into 12 portions to represent the 12 tribes of their people is an ancient Greek tradition. Circumcision originated in Egypt, not Israel.
You know I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake.
The primitive notion that demon possession caused some illnesses was common in Egypt and likely influenced Babylonian, Greek, and Jewish thought. Just like the ancient Hebrews, the common Greek man thought of epilepsy as demon possession. Exorcising demons was common right up to the time of Jesus, who endorsed the view that epileptic fits were a result of demon possession.
I have exorcised the demons.
Ancient Canaan used the lamb as a totem of their largely agricultural religion. The sacrifice of a lamb to their gods was commonplace. Talking animals was a pervasive literary device of the ancient Near East. Ancestors who lived to great ages is a widespread tradition. The Sabbath tradition possibly traces its origins to Babylon. The number 7 was unspeakably holy in ancient Greece. There were 7 heavens, 7 planets, 7 gates of hell, 7 ages of man, 7 days of the week. Just as in ancient Israel, 12 was an important number in ancient Babylon. There are 12 months in a year, 12 signs of the zodiac, 2 sets of 12 hours in a day. Other gods in the ancient Near East were housed in cedar temples built on a mountain. The tabernacle, the precursor to the temple, has architectural parallels with the battle tent of Pharaoh Ramses. The Ark of the Covenant's design, including a mercy seat bracketed by cherubs, is common for the time and place. Tricks involving rigidified snakes were commonplace in Egypt. Large-scale debt forgiveness was practiced in Babylonian times, much like the Jubilee law in Leviticus 25. The covenants that Jehovah concluded with the Israelites are the same in form and language as the suzerain treaties Assyria and the Hittites would impose on conquered nations, the oldest being the Hittite examples of the 2nd millennium BCE. These included the suzerain calling the conquered nation a special possession.
I did not know that.
Writing out a copy of the nation's law was also common practice. In ancient Greece, childbirth, sex, and murder resulted in ritual uncleanness and prevented people from taking part in religious ceremonies until they were purified. An arrogant king refusing the sensible advice of a prophet is a regular feature of ancient Greek literature. Sending off a scapegoat to symbolize a new beginning is an ancient Near Eastern tradition predating Moses by over 5 centuries. What the governing body teach about the Bible and its origins and its content is not just untrue, it's anti-true. It prevents people from actually knowing what the contents of the book really is, where it came from, and what it means. So if you really want to understand the Bible, you need to rely on the governing body less and rely on yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, you want to get shit done, you got to get it done yourself.
So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.